Hey, be sure to tune into this week's weekly video fishing forecast. We have information on the yellowfin bite that is going on right now. It is super hot. Reports and events from around the island, from our correspondents as well. We're also at the Tobay Boat Show right now, where the boat show will be going on this weekend. All the information on that. And we go back to the Tesoro reel for some more on that as well.
The ultimate fishing authority in the Northeast, the Fisherman magazine.
New Explore Series fish finders keep you locked on fish with unbeatable clarity, best-in-class imaging options, and a stunning ultra-bright HD screen. There's more to explore, only with Humminbird.
Today's September 18th, 2025, and I'm at the location of the Tobay Boat Show here right now. As you can see behind me, they got all the boats lined up right now, getting ready to go. You can come by water, you can also come by car also. A lot of boats in the main lot, a lot of boats back over here. There's a ton to do. If you're looking for a good deal, there's a lot of leftovers here, so definitely, if you're in the market for a boat, come down here, work out a deal. You'll be ready for the 2026 season. I will be here myself on Friday and Saturday. My crew from the Fisherman will be here on Sunday. Come down, enjoy the show. There's a lot to do. We'll see you there.
The Tobay Boat Show is back now in September, the 19th through the 21st. Hundreds of boats in water and on land. From fishing boats to personal watercraft and the latest electronics, this show has it all. Free parking. For more information, visit nyboatshows.com.
Last night I attended the striped bass meeting at the DEC headquarters in Kings Park. Here's my takeaway from the event.
Tonight we held one of our two public hearings on Addendum 3 for striped bass, and we had a great turnout tonight. I would say probably between 75 and 100 people, between online and in person. And we had folks come from all over the island, Montauk, South Shore, North Shore, over by the city. So we had a great turnout. We really needed the input for our staff so we can go to the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission at the end of October for the annual meeting and take that feedback and properly represent the interest of the folks in New York. A lot on the plate tonight, decisions to make about trying to achieve the target rebuild in 2029. So we feel like we had a great turnout tonight, and there's still opportunity for feedback. You can submit your comments by email. You have until midnight on October the 3rd, and just go to asmfc.org, and you can find the Addendum 3 links. Just go over there and you'll find all the information. You can read the addendum itself, look at all the options, and make your own decisions on what you'd like to see us do. And status quo is a possibility. So everything from status quo to a potential 12% reduction for commercial and recreational. That's the broad thought on how we're going to be addressing possible 2026 and 2027 management framework.
So this past weekend, I was lucky enough to get out on the offshore grounds. Last shot of yellowfin, as we all know, yellowfin are starting to move out this time of the year. But if you hit them right in September, there's a ton to be had, and they're always big this time of the year too. We got out there in the vicinity of the Bacardi area, had them from 60 to up to 100 pounds. We had fish on all different methods on the jig, but mainly these fish were on the chunk that was peanut bunker. We were tossing dead ones in, live lining the live ones, and the fishing was phenomenal. We were almost hand feeding these fish. Had them on spinning, conventional gear. Really fun fishing. We had our boat limit in about 2 hours, back to the dock by 12:30. It was a phenomenal day of fishing. Might be a few more days you guys can squeeze out if the weather allows it. If you have the opportunity, get out there because these fish will be moving on very soon. And as a reminder, the Fisherman magazine is now doing an offshore report. If you're an offshore fisherman, it's a great piece of information to tune into. Click on the card in the top right to check it out. As you may recall, last week in the video fishing forecast, the Fisherman team went out to Montauk, got to test out the Okuma Tesoro on these albacore. These fish were fired up. A couple people were saying that the drag on the reels were a little loose, but if you caught albacore before, you know how hard these fish fight, especially when the water is right, the oxygen, the water is just right. These fish are taking extremely hard runs. The drags on these reels were up to the task, and these fish were certainly testing them out.
At the edge of Long Island, where the ocean meets tradition, Montauk Anglers Club can be your boat's home and your gateway to legendary fishing. Whether you're a pro or just casting your first line, this is where memories are made. Join Montauk Anglers Club, where the catch of the day is just the beginning. Go to montaukanglersclub.com for more information.
Fisher Magazine's digital issue came out on Monday. Let's go into a little preview of what you can expect if you tune into that. Starting off, we have the surf column. It's called The Surf Belt, Coming Full Circle. Our inshore column, Albie Alleyways. I wrote that one myself. Our offshore column, High Flyer Mahi. And we have a photo gallery showing the reader images that you send in every week. This week's open boat is Jenni's Fluke Winners Circle.
Welcome to the Winner's Circle. It's your host, me, Jenie Ackerman, and on this week's open boat, we're kicking off the Super Flukers Challenge Winner's Circle. I got my laptop with me. Thank you everyone who submitted all of your entries. I love getting emails from you guys with your fish submissions. We did one back in the fall, probably gonna do it again, and the same thing with the Super Fluker Challenge. Now, it's September, so of course you do still have some time to catch some fluke based off of your region. You know, keep in mind the opening and closing dates of every season of species you're targeting, so you're not, you know, gonna get yourself in trouble. But the New Jersey region, like where I'm in right now, we're seeing the start of our mullet run season. So if you're fishing the beaches, you'll see little schools of mullet running by, lots of bluefish giving chase, and of course, fluke love mullet too. So now's the time, you know, go to the beach after work, and you can literally throw anything from like an SP minnow. I had a kid catch a 25-inch fluke yesterday on an Ava jig. So anything that imitates that long profile of a mullet, or you could just go to your local tackle shop that has fresh caught mullet and try throwing it out there to see what you can get, because you still have a chance to catch a really big fluke to close out your 2025 fluke season. And I also really appreciate just studying the patterns of how this fluke season has been based off of, you know, how it's been in the previous years. So just seeing the differences and similarities, like every angler should take note on to kind of mentally prepare themselves for the 2026 fluke season. But realistically, it's like, you know, we have your patterns, but you never know what's gonna happen, like what to expect. And I know a lot of anglers who submitted like some of the biggest catches, they caught them in places they would have never expected to have caught big fish. So life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. So let's get into the first part of the Winner's Circle. If you guys recall, I asked for the first part for you guys to submit pictures of fluke that you caught on a bucktail. And kicking it off, we have Ralph Albino. And of course, wait, before I start anything, I apologize if I butcher your name. So we have Ralph Albino with a nice fluke that he caught on a bucktail. And then next up, we have Justin Elliott sporting a Yankees hat. I know this is gonna cause a great debate in the comments, but you know, go Yankees. So he's got a nice fluke right there. Moving on, we have Pete Egbert, and Pete had something to say with his. He said that he caught his 16-inch flounder in his backyard of Long Beach, New York. So we can't beat fishing your own backyard for some nice flukes. And then we have Bob Vendetti with his bucktail fluke. Moving on, we have Carl Ward, and Carl has his bucktail that he tied himself, and he has a nice fluke netted in, looks like a pink and white bucktail. So it's also really rewarding going through like making your own bucktails, making your own lures, building your own rods, the whole 9 yards. making something that you're catching fish on is like really, really rewarding too. So congratulations, Carl. And then we have multiple submissions from Dennis Portalatin. So he's got multiple fish on the bucktail jig here, showcasing 1, 2, 3, 4 flukes caught on the bucktail. And then we have Timothy Vess with his bucktail fluke. And he said that it was 3.5 pounds at 20 inches at the north side of the bay of West Long Beach. And then we have a bonus fish here from James Bier. He was fluking and he caught a striped bass on his fluke rig. So you're gonna see some wild card fish submissions here for the winner's circle of the Super Fluker Challenge, which I love to see. And next up, we have Joshua McCloskey with his bucktail fluke, and he was fishing on the Atom Bomb out of Cape May. And next up, we have Nick Rambo's crew posing with their catches of the day. Looks like some nice fluke sandwiches for dinner with all these guys, so all nice bucktail flukes. And then we have Pedro of Kepti Fishing with 2 flukes caught on the bucktail and some decent sized ones too. So that wraps up the first part of the winner's circle. And keep in mind, like I said before, guys, you still have time to be fluking. We still have time before the stripers show up. Right now, you do have other species to target too, based off of your region. You have albies, you have Spanish mackerel, you have bluefish, you have freshwater species. Don't forget about your freshwater species, your lakes, your ponds, your creeks, your streams, all of the above. Any body of water that's not a puddle, you can find fish in. So don't be sitting around, waiting for a species when you can go out and target more. So go out there, get down to some more fish, enjoy the good weather. Next week kicks off the first week of fall, so bring on the fall and let's see what comes next. And I will catch you guys on next week's Open Boat. We're continuing off with the winner's circle, so let's go.
Now let's take a look at the upcoming events from around the island. Starting off, we're here right now actually, is the Tobay Boat Show from September 19th to September 21st. Doors are open from 12 to 6 on Friday, 10 to 6 on Saturday, and 10 to 6 on Sunday. Come on down, take advantage of all the great deals, all the fun stuff going on that day. September 26th to the 27th is the 7th annual Fishing and Lobster Bash out in Port of Egypt Marina. Then the Fred Galafaro Memorial Montauk Classic, that takes place October 3rd to October 5th. Then the Fisherman Magazine Surf Inshore Offshore Fishing Show takes place on October 9th this year. Mark your calendars from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. We got a whole bunch of speakers for you. Let's run over the list real quick. We have Bill Wetzel on October and November surf strategies. John Paduano on a snap jig overview with a Q&A. I'll be doing a seminar on shore togging from setups to spots. John Skinner will be doing a seminar on light tackle, full tog jigging. Pete Uchig will be doing his seminar on little changes for big results. Bryce Poyer, offshore specialist, is going to be doing one on kicking off the tuna season for next year. And Dave Anderson from the Fisherman Magazine will be doing his seminar on surf spot schematics. Moving on to our next event, the Corkers Cup Gathering of the Anglers Tournament will take place from October 17th through October 19th as well. For more information on these events, visit thefisherman.com/events. Let's get the latest from the Dreamboat Challenge and our Coastal Kayak Clash.
Here's the latest for the Dreamboat Fishing Challenge. First up is New England subscriber Richard Turcott from Coventry, Connecticut, with his second entry in the contest with a 6.40-pound weak fish weighed in at AW Marina, putting Rich in third place in the weak fish category. Next up is Dean Poella, New Jersey subscriber from Springfield, New Jersey, with a 3-pound porgy weighed in at the tackle box. This entry places Dean second in the porgy group. Adding to his entries and placing 5th in the porgy category goes to Thomas Luciano, Long Island subscriber from West Sayville, New York, weighing in his 2.43-pound porgy at J&J Tackle. Our final entry is from Long Island subscriber Joseph Lacusi from Ridge, New York, taking 4th with his fluke at 10.4 pounds, weighed in at Montauk Marine Basin. With the latest entries, this shook up the leaderboard. The new standings are Thomas Luciano taking 1st with 22 points. Rashawn Williams dropped to 2nd with 15 points. Jeffrey Harrison is holding on to 3rd with 13 points. Are you the best angler in the Northeast? Well, now is your chance to prove it. The Fisherman's Dream Boat Contest is back. Win this Steigercraft center console powered by Yamaha along with these other great prizes. Fish hard and weigh in as many of these species to be top on the leaderboard. What's the catch? You must be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine. All it takes is one fish on the board to win a great prize, so however you fish, you have a shot. For all the details and official rules, visit thefisherman.com.
We had 3 fish enter the Coastal Kayak Clash this week. The first one was a 23-inch weakfish landed by Gregory Vergare, which now holds 3rd place in the weakfish category. The other 2 were hardtails, both of them false albacore. Tom Hood had a 25-incher, which holds 3rd place in the hardtail category. Bruce Lofgren had a 25-1/4-incher, which holds 2nd place. Our top 3 still looks about the same, although Dustin Stevens lost 1 point thanks to Gregory Vergare's weakfish. So Dustin has 8 points, holding 1st place. Rothenong is in 2nd place with 6 points. Eddie Roman is in 3rd place, also with 6 points. It was that tiebreaker striped bass that keeps Rotha in 2nd place.
Hey kayakers, the Fisherman's Coastal Kayak Clash contest is back. Win this fully outfitted Hobie Mirage Lynx kayak from Yak Attack along with other great prizes. Catch and release as many of these species to be top on the leaderboard. To enter, you must be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine, fish from a kayak, and document your catch. Many chances to win great prizes, so get out there on the water now and fish hard. To be part of the action, you must be a subscriber and register at thefisherman.com.
Please read all the rules carefully and fill out your forms completely, including length and girth measurements on the fish. With that being said, let's get into our Around the Map segment. Starting off on the east end of the island, Bob Sousey, he sent in a photo of a Montauk striper. He said he had him on diamond jigs and eels. Diamond jigs during the day, eels after dark. That was in the rips off the point. That was on Chansey Charters. Then Joey from J&J Bucktails, he was fishing out of Montauk on the ebb tide with Captain Anthony and his son Anthony Jr. He got his 10.4 pounder double-digit fluke. Nice job, Joey. The official weight was taken at the Montauk Marine Basin. Captain Mike from the Trophy Hunter Charters in Montauk, he reported in saying the albie bite is super hot still. These fish are all on small epoxy jigs. He's been getting them for all of his clients on all of his recent trips. Moving on to the south shore of the island, Captain Joe from the King Cod, he reported in that it's been a mixed bag of fishing. Ocean fishing has been good when you can get outside, anywhere from 90 to 120 feet. Been getting limited black sea bass, fluke, triggers, and scup back in the bay. He said the conditions were just right because the ocean was not good, but the bay conditions were perfect, and there were plenty of keepers in the bay as well, working the rips inside the inlet area. Moving on to the west end of the island, reports indicate that there was a bit of a slowdown in activity in the bay and the ocean areas. Fluking was still good, keepers coming in, good number of shorts. When you could get outside, the sea bass was pretty decent on the reefs and wrecks. That's Hempstead and McAllister, all those spots over there. Back on the bay fluking, they have been gathering up in the deeper channels over by Jones and the Rockaways as well. Near the mouth of the inlets as well, getting in on those peanut bunker. If you got live baits, peanut bunker, send those down for the fluke. These fish are getting ready for their fall migration. Moving on to the north shore of the island. Got a report from the Western Sound. Brendan Barrett, his dad, Pat Barrett, runs the Shamrock on the west end. They got into a good weakfish bite. Everybody was getting in on a weakfish, ton of them all around the whole boat, but Brendan had this one right here. Got a little surf report for you as well. Still getting word that there's some bigger bass on the south side of Montauk. Did slow down a little bit, but they're hitting those bigger swing plugs, darters, needlefish, bottles as well. Back over in Shinnecock and Mauritius, still a bunch of albies off the rocks. Cocktail bluefish are all over the place during the daylight hours. Not much on the night bite with the stripers yet, but that will change very soon with this east wind. There's gonna be a lot of moat coming out of the inlets. Definitely gonna be some stripers on them. Think Mauritius, Shinnecock, Fire Island. Fluke on the back sides of both these inlets, Mauritius and Shinnecock, also on the back side of Fire Island. Demo area, sore thumb as well. Up on the North Shore, porgies are still a main target. Pretty much the entire length from the western end out to the North Fork. Also getting reports of some small schoolie stripers and some cocktail bluefish around the harbor entrances. Think Mount Sinai, Port Chef, Stony Brook, Hempstead, Northport, all those areas as well. We got some small schoolies and cocktail bluefish. And if you do have a notable catch, email me at mbroderick@thefisherman.com. I'll try and get it into the weekly video fishing forecast or the magazine.
In the famed waters of Panama awaits a fishing experience like no other. Tropic Star Lodge welcomes anglers to get in on world-famous fishing action. Plan your perfect trip today. Tropic Star Lodge, the ultimate in fishing adventures for more than 60 years.
Now let's check in with our correspondents from around the island. And if you want to skip to a specific correspondent from a specific spot on the island, you can now take advantage of the chapters section on YouTube to do so.
Well, greetings everybody from Montauk. The good fishing is still going strong. The inshore action, plenty of fluke, sea bass, striped bass are starting to make an appearance now that the water's getting a little cooler, and the false albacore fishing is still red hot. Offshore report, still seeing plenty of quality yellowfin tuna and big eye tuna coming in out in the canyon. The inshore bluefin tuna fishery has been pretty consistent with the giants, but they're going to be closing that down next week until the 30th, so it'll be closed until October, it looks like. Plenty of other stuff getting caught out in the canyon, some blue marlin, white marlin. There was nice wahoo caught last week. So it's looking to be a good fall out on the canyon and stuff like that. So until next week, watch out. There might be another hurricane swell coming up this weekend. Other than that, stay to this quality fishing, and I'll see you next week. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Those albies have still been around, been a little tough for most people. Haven't gotten out with the conditions the last few days, but got into them the end of last week, going into the weekend. Over the weekend, they were still around, not as thick as when we had them on Friday afternoon, and popping up both around Mauritius and Shinnecock. I've heard of some bass being caught, nothing in any kind of like regular pattern, but they are around over the weekend. There were some that were closer to Shinnecock in the ocean, and not too much really happening in the back bay other than a couple of random schoolies here and there, some smaller fish. But, you know, this is that time of year they could just, you know, they could be here tomorrow morning for all we know. So definitely be on guard for that. Fluke bite continues to be pretty good. Seems like, even though it's always like the, you know, gulp or fish bite, if you're able to get your hands on some peanut bunker, they're all over the place, casting at them, you know, in any of the back bays, and just use that, alive or dead. They seem to be crushing it. A buddy of mine had gotten like 4 keepers and about 5 or 6 drifts last weekend. Tuna bite, there are some yellows around. They're pretty far out, so if you're willing to go like 70 miles or so, you know, there is a lot of life out there, and we'll see what happens. You know, after this kind of blow gets, you know, passes by, you know, all the rules might change. We might be into totally different fishing. So only way you're going to know is get out there and fish. So let us know how you do. Have a great weekend. Talk to you next week. Back to you, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Things are picking up in Fire Island. The Fluke are getting ready to move. They're starting to bunch up near the inlet. Some real nice sized fish in between, too. I'm talking 7, 8, 9 pound fish. Like Coast Guard Station to the inlet, that whole stretch in there has been very good. And, you know, live bait, of course, is going to catch a bigger one, a live peanut bunker. I like to fish also small whole squid with a double hook rig. That'll catch big fish as well. Bottom fishing really good, big giant blowfish. Pretty much anywhere, state channels, sore thumb. But I mean, I got guys telling me about the biggest blowfish they've ever seen. And you talk about some great eating. They're great. A lot of fun to catch too. A lot of small ones in between. So if you have kids, I mean, it's constant action. Put a chum pack down with clam chum, little piece of clam on a hook, and off you go. You have a blast. Striped bass, trickle. You hear one here or there, but nothing serious yet. About 2 weeks out, that should happen. And no weak fish reports, not a one. So that's about it for this week. We will talk to you next week.
Introducing the Yak Attack Sandrig Surf Cart, the ultimate beach hauler for serious anglers. Glide effortlessly over soft sand with wide balloon wheels and lightweight, corrosion-resistant construction that's completely customizable with options. Whether it's rods, coolers, or tackle, haul it all with ease. Built by surf fishermen and engineered by Yak Attack.
Hello, Matt. Well, this has just been a crazy, crazy week. We've been out here. This is River Bay Outfitters, and we're out in Montana. It was a phenomenal time. I'm right now, this is the Bitterroot River. Fabulous day. There were so many fish we caught. All dry flies. It was absolutely great. So far, it's been a phenomenal trip. Everybody's been catching fish. Everybody's having a good time. The guides from Black River Outfitters is the top notch. It was terrific. Now, as far as Long Island goes, well, we're getting cooler. Everything's getting cooler now. So that's going to help the fall fishing. Big news, albacore out in Montauk. Albacore and all the inlets. I've even heard Jones Inlet. I saw some albacore. Bonita's still around. Bluefish is still around. Stripers are getting more active. It is going to be a terrific fall. And the best way to do it is come into the shop, talk to me about what to do and where to go, and I'd be more than happy to help you. Until next week, tie lines, everybody.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. Nuno here from Tyalure. Another week down in September, some good fishing around for those. I gotta say, participation is a little low out there sometimes in getting reports and stuff. Bluefin Sound Charters is still on them. He's caught some fish in the Sound. He's also doing very well heading into the East River, where a lot of striped bass and bluefish remain. The guys doing really well on the striped bass and bluefish are catching live spots and then using those. We also now have live eels that's been working at times also. A few fish being caught on the jigs also. As far as porgy fishing, that remains super strong right now, especially the shore-based guys. Lots of spots around. You know, an occasional fluke here and there. We're getting to kind of the tail end of that fluke season here in the Western Long Island Sound. We do have blackfish that opens up October 11th for harvest. Currently, right now, you can catch and release, and a lot of guys are doing really well. We do have the green crabs in stock, you know. On another note, guys, it's time to get your comments out there for the striped bass. You know, we're facing reductions like never before, and what we need to do is strongly support the harvest. Once we support the harvest, all we have is a 3-inch slot. We're not asking for a lot. Supporting the harvest makes sure that we never lose the target, and we never lose that and go to a moratorium. So very important that we support the harvest. Get your comments in. We were just at the New York meeting recently, and honestly, the turnout was pretty low. Very little support from the industry, very little support from tackle manufacturers and other tackle shops. You know, so let's do a better job, guys. Let's get your comments in.
All right, as promised, here we are at the North Channel Bridge where we had our cleanup, and we actually got our fish off, and we had a prize for the first person to catch a keeper weak fish. They won a free trip on our center console, and shout out to Eddie, who has just caught the biggest weak fish I've seen landed on the North Channel Bridge. Did we get the measurement yet? I don't think we did, not yet, but it looks like it's approaching 28 inches actually. So this is a rare moment, and you know, it's a great day of community service, a great day of fishing for our members. So it's good to see that, you know, Eddie just got his personal best right after our cleanup, and you know, that's what we're all about, y'all. So, you know, thank you for those that came in and helped clean up for our community to, you know, go towards a great cause. I just spoke with a DEC officer on the other side of the bridge who also supports us. He loves the cleanup work, and he actually told me because of our cleanups, it makes his job easier because when people poach and keep illegal fish, they tend to hide it in the garbage. So he said that now that there's a lot less garbage, it's a lot easier for him to find any fish, or at least the fish aren't being hidden anymore. So yeah, a couple of things there. That's the message of the week. All right, y'all, back to you.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing, that nothing says no to fish bites.
There's a lot going on this week, folks, between the striped bass meeting that took place yesterday. Remember, you still have a lot of time to get those comments in. Speak your mind on how you feel about that situation. I highly advise you to. Real important stuff. Tobay Boat Show this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be here. The boats are going to be here. Hopefully you come down too. Hopefully the weather is great for it. It's a can't miss event. A lot of stuff going on. The fishing is turning on. Albies, striped bass, fluke. Still some tuna around. A lot to do, a lot to catch. We'll see you next week.